In this lesson, we're going to be talking about linking pages with jQuery Mobile. We're going to be using links1 and links2.html from your working files folder. So first things first, let's just go ahead and make a basic anchor tag that links to the links2.html file. href equals, and then here's where we link to our page, links2.html. I always close my anchor tag before I put stuff inside because otherwise I'll forget. Page 2. Save that, go back over here, refresh, and sure enough, here we have a basic link. If we click on it, you'll notice it actually changes here, but it loads in links to using Ajax. So let's hit back. Now, if we had another page inside of this same HTML file, we would do the same kind of thing, except we would link to it using the hashtag. We would say #page2. And you can see that in action in the multi-page template file in your working files folder. So I'm going to modify this link to say page2 local. Now, this isn't going to work because we don't have a page called page2 local. If we wanted to create one, it would honestly be as simple as just doing this. Close that div. Here we have a page and we need to make sure we give it an ID that corresponds to our link. So ID equals page2. Inside here, we can go ahead and put a header and a footer. I'm just going to make this simple and say, this is my local page2. Let's try that. And sure enough, it works. And you may have noticed it changes the hashtag up here. And I can press back to get back. Now, if I want to link to an external site, we do this ever so slightly differently. Same kind of thing here. Go ahead and just copy and paste this. And href is going to go to http://google.com. Now, we need to tell the computer that google.com is not part of our page, it's actually an external site. To do that, in our anchor tag, we add rel equals external. And we should also probably update that text there. Let's try that out. Refresh, click on this, and sure enough, it goes to google.com, and it doesn't attempt to load it in using Ajax or anything like that. Now, while we're here, let's just go ahead and talk about a couple of other interesting links that we can create. We can create basic email links by saying mail to : and then the email address, bob@fake.com. In addition to mail to links, we also now have telephone links, like this, tel : 1-555-1212. That right there will actually tell smartphones that you can click on this link in order to call that phone number. Pretty cool stuff. Now, of course, if I click on that here, it's not going to do anything because my computer is not a phone. But again, if you use a smartphone for this, it'll actually work. Now let's go ahead and talk about one other type of link which is fairly important, and that is the back button link. So in order to make a back button link, we do this, and we say data rel equals back. Now anchor tags also need an href, so we can say href equals £. Now notice I put that on links2.html. So when we go back over here, click on page 2, it'll load that in. Actually, I have to refresh. And if I press back, it's going to do the same thing as my back button here in the browser. It's going to tell it to go backwards in history. Now, just like any other website, I've got forward, I've got back. It all somehow magically works. Those are the wonders of JavaScript, I suppose. Now let's talk about one more thing to wrap up this quick lesson. If I want to link to Google+, this would be the URL that I might type in my browser. However, one thing that you need to know with jQuery Mobile is if you want to link to a directory, you need to put that last slash. Otherwise, it's going to think that plus is a file. And that has to do with the intricacies of how they're using hashes and how they're parsing URLs. And it's a fairly complex topic, but it's just good to know that if you want to link to a directory, you need to put that extra slash at the end. Let's save that, try that out, make sure it works. Google+. And there it is. It worked. Now, in Google's case, they actually redirect you to plus.google.com, but that shouldn't change the way this anchor tag actually works. So that wraps up this lesson on linking pages.